everyone, and welcome to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming, and every day we are looking at some of the great signs that are happening around us.
Today we are going to look at some of the end-time signs happening in Europe. 23 European countries agreed to launch a spy forum. Europe seeks to collectively tackle Islamic terrorism on the continent.
23 European countries met and signed a letter of intent on February 26, 2020 to establish the Intelligence College in Europe. Described as a tool for cooperation by Croatia's Security and Intelligence Chief Daniel Markic, this network will see European spies compare notes on cross-cutting intelligence-related issues like Islamist and far-right terrorism, European jihadists in Syria, and cybersecurity and data.
The network would be launched in March and will meet 2 or 3 times per year. The member countries will host the seminars and events intended to shape decision-making and intelligence operations across the European continent.
This forum was proposed by French President Emmanuel Macron in 2017. It all centered on security, a collective European future, by bolstering its cybersecurity infrastructure and its intelligence gathering resources. He said that Europeans must join force if we don't want to depend tomorrow on informations gathered by the US, China, or Russia. Although he denied that the forum was aimed to replicate the United States Central Intelligence Agency, this European network will similarly work to deal with the analysis of intelligence forum for national and, in this case, continental security. The main perceived threat to such continental security is Islam. An official from France's National Intelligence and Counter-Terrorism Coordination Center said one of the principal reasons why such a network is needed to deal with returning jihadist fighters, echoing Markic's sentiments, where formerly each country was worked on its own to deal with the issue of returning Syrian jihadists. It was only through sharing and communicating about the issue among ourselves that we found a way forward, the officials said. As Croatian's Prime Minister Andrej Plenković explained at the signing of the document, this network will have the aim of finding solutions to various threats in the world and especially in Europe. Though this body is being proposed with a view of simply comparing notes on intelligence with no aim to replicate the CIA or replace the already existing system, it has the potential to grow into much more than it's being proposed. It is not a part of the European Union at the moment, but at present the United Kingdom is the only non-EU member to be involved in the network. Over the last few years, President Macron has made a concerted effort to emphasize the need for European unity and cooperation, and a corresponding departure from international or Western cooperation. Recently, he has boldly stepped up the fight against Islam, raising awareness to the danger of the large Muslim population in France, introducing new immigration measures and decrying Islam as a separatist religion. At the same time, he has been courting the Roman Catholic Church, encouraging a resurgence in Catholicism in France and Europe. Although France is currently leading the push for European unity, Bible prophecy indicates that Germany will ultimately be at the head of the modern resurgence of the Holy Roman Empire in this end time, united under the banner of the Roman Catholic Church. With the spy network being created in the spirit of fostering high levels of European unity and cooperation, it is easy to see it evolving to become a critical part of the prophesied German-led European superpower. Europe is drawing closer together, returning to its Catholic roots, launching joint military programs and a security system, fostering ever closer economic ties, and now launching the spy forum. The only missing piece of this jigsaw puzzle is German leadership. Germany currently lacks that leader, but the systems are slowly coming into place beneath. The appetite for a strong leader is growing as the pieces join together. And once a strong man comes on the scene and commits to that leadership, Bible prophecy indicates he will unite Germany and ultimately lead a European superstate. Germany will come out on top, leading Europe and final resurgence of the Holy Roman Empire. The ultimate significance of Europe forming a spy network is revealed through Bible prophecy. We have seen about the end-time signs happening in Europe, but there is more. Don't go anywhere, we'll meet you after a short break. Welcome back to Science Lab. The signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming. We have seen about the end-time signs happening in Europe, and let's continue. Rheinmetall, based in Düsseldorf, Germany, witnessed a stark rise in demands in its armaments division, but a decrease in its automotive division in 2019.
However, the group's defense sector compensated for far more than the loss in its automotive sector. Rheinmetall's significantly higher profitability of armaments gives us an ominous prelude of where our world is heading.
Rheinmetall has had another year record. Rheinmetall's AG Chief Executive Officer Armin Paperger noted, in fiscal 2019, Skills reached a new high and generated an operating result of over 500 million euro. The group's operating free cash flow increased to over 300 million euro, and its order backlog grew for the first time to nearly 11 billion euro. We are also well positioned for the future in key markets, Paperger continued. In our role as an international system provider for armed forces, we are benefiting from the super cycle in the defense technology business gifted to us by the pressing backlog in military procurement. The super cycle that is causing Rheinmetall to rejoice is causing other great concern. The world is rapidly arming again. Rheinmetall is benefiting from the massive military upgrades in Germany and other Western nations. The budget for Germany's Bundeswehr is rising to $50.6 billion this year, almost 40% more than in 2014. In 2020, the combined military budgets of the European states is expected to exceed $300 billion. Among other things, Rheinmetall benefits from the arming of Arab states against Iran. GermanForeignPolicy.com noted, but above all, from the arming of the Western world against Russia and China. Germany's economy just barely avoided a recession last year. The uncertainty over Brexit, the trade war between the United States and China, as well as US tariffs and sanctions against Russia and Iran have left Germany's economy on unstable footing. Its economy flourished for decades while the world experienced relative peace. But with rising uncertainties around the globe, we can expect Germany's industrial might to refocus on Europeans' military build-up. Following the 1923 global economic crisis, the German industry suffered major setbacks until Adolf Hitler gave new order to fuel the German war machine. He turned the civil industry's attention toward producing weapons to facilitate rearmament. We are now seeing a similar trend. Today, Germany's industry is not only in position to fuel the nation's own military ambitions, but also those of all of Europe. If you combine the strength of its arms industry with its civil industry, Germany could soon be mass-producing tanks and other military vehicles instead of cars. Rheinmetall today operates in 21 countries and is the 10th largest weapon manufacturer in Europe. During the World War II, Rheinmetall was Adolf Hitler's second largest arms supplier. How is it that this same manufacturer is arming Germany again today? Allied force met in 1945 in Potsdam, Germany, and resolved that Germany should undergo a complete disarmament and demilitarization, and the elimination or control of all the German industry that could be used for military production. British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and US President Franklin Roosevelt said at the time, "It is our inflexible purpose to destroy German militarism and Nazism." There is a reason why these leaders were concerned that Germany would start yet another war. In 1996, a shocking World War II intelligence document was made public. The document, detailing an August 1944 meeting between top German industrialists, reveals a secret post-war plan to restore the Nazis to power. When Metall was at that meeting, the participating companies at the time pleaded to prepare themselves to finance the Nazi Party, which would be forced to go underground. Many of these companies entered the civil industry after World War II and later entered the arms industry. When the US classified this document, it received only sparse news coverage. Yet, even more disturbing than the deep stupor of the press is the fact that the US government did not make it public until 1996, over 50 years later. Today, Rheinmetall is rejoicing that its scale in its defense subsidiary are compensating its losses in the automotive sector. Few realize that for its automotive sector was to enable the company to ensure times of peace. We don't understand German thoroughness. From the very start of the World War II, they have considered the possibility of losing the second round, as they did the first, and they have carefully, methodically planned in such eventuality the third round, World War III. Hitler has lost. This round of war in Europe is over, and the Nazis have now gone underground. In France and Norway, they learned how effectively an organized underground can hamper occupations and control of a country. Paris was liberated by the French underground and Allied armies. Now, a Nazi underground is methodically planned. They plan to come back to win on the third try.
The prophecy in Revelation 17:8 says, "The beast that you saw was and is not, and will ascend out of the bottomless pit and go to perdition. And those who dwell on the earth will marvel, whose names are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they see the beast that was and is not, and yet it is." Based on this and other Bible prophecies, we can understand that Germany would eventually dominate Europe and start another world war.
Now we are witnessing about absolutely correct this warning verse. God revealed these prophecies thousands of years before their fulfillment for a reason. God, in His mercy, is giving nations and individuals a chance to heed the warning and be spared from this suffering. Sadly, few people today are paying attention to God's message.
All this shows that what is mentioned in the Bible that are going to take place in the end times are taking place in our lifetime. Lord Jesus Christ is coming again very soon. Thank you for watching this episode. Don't forget to tune into Science Lab next time.
And before we end the show, we would like to ask you a question from this episode. How many European countries agreed to launch Spy Forum? The options are option A, 20, option B, 23, and option C, 25.
Send us your correct answer to our email address sciencelab@angeltv.org. If you have missed any of the episodes, don't worry, you can watch it in our Science Lab YouTube page. But don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video.
And also ask your friends and relatives to watch the Science Lab so that they will know that we are living in the last days. Remember, signs are happening because Lord Jesus Christ is coming. Maranatha.